Shout out to everybody here on the live. Thank you for jumping on in. Appreciate each and every one of you for being here. Sharing your most precious asset with me, and that is your time. Welcome to the Crypto Lifer Show, baby. Yeah, so the whole trading group, or not the whole trading group, I don't know everybody, but we made bank short in the market last night. I could have made even double what I made, but I'm still happy. Looking up to over $1,000 in the morning. The entire week, we have hit every single trade. I've been, I gave trades on Tuesday, nailed it. Trades on Wednesday, nailed it. Trades on Thursday, nailed it. And the live stream, too. Every single trade we made on the live. But anyway, let's not talk about the past. Let's talk about the future. Let's talk about right now. Let's see if I can get on the screen and get things going. I'm a little too small today because that's where I am for weekly screen share. Shout out to everyone that joined us last night for the weekly screen share. It was an amazing experience. Thank you for everyone who jumped on in. Let's get that music back up and running. God bless everybody here on the live. Thank you for being here. My name's Sam Price, the Crypto Lifer. It's $84,000 Bitcoin, suggesting we are going lower. Bitcoin, $75,000 looks likely. Right now, the trend is your friend, and the trend is to the downside. So until they reverse, Bitcoin is going further and further down. My goodness. How do you hold in these times, people say, Sam? How do you do this? How do you make it through? I just have a long-term plan. 10 years from now, I'm going to look at my Bitcoins and say, wow, you did good. And if it doesn't, then so be it. I tried to do something different, and that means I'm going to try the next thing. You know what I mean? And again, even though I allocate a lot to BTC, I am now open to investing in other things. It got to the stage of my life where I'll open up a car wash. I'll open up, what I'm actually looking for, if anyone wants to invest in me here in, the Tampa area, the Gulf of Mexico, on the Gulf here, is some type of indoor fun zone for the kids. An indoor fun zone. I think those are big. I think they're going to do well. I have a vision for one, rock climbing, some other stuff like that. If you want to invest in me, if you have an idea, email cryptolifers@gmail.com. If you got some extra cash and you want to make something happen and you think you got the vibe, you like my vibe, let me know. You know what I mean? I'd like to start something for the kids, something for the community. I'd like to make money, but I'd also like to make sure. So I like to make money, but I also like to make something different for the, and make it actually worthwhile for the kids. So that's something I want, because it gets really hot here in Florida. Even in May, even in August, September, October, it is hot here, folks. And the kids need something to do. They go to the beach, that's cool, but they can't really run and play in the parks. The parks are just too hot. So that's something that needs to be addressed as I live here. Anyway, let's move on. So Bitcoin, it got above the 200 moving average on the 1 minute time frame, a reversal pattern for me, and I knew. So that's when I got out of my short. I knew not to short anymore. I said, nah. And of course we ripped to the upside, but look, it was like, I wanted this flag to break out. And so I'll show you how I looked at it. And I love being transparent. This is exactly. So I wake up and I see this as a pattern. My mind sees the possible pattern. It does have cat ears, as you can see that too, though. Looks like it's a little further to the upside than to the downside, as you see what I'm saying there. Okay. And then you kind of take this and move this like so. And what that shows me is like, wow, we're above the 200, touching the 21. I like that. Suggests we can get to 88,000. Could be a pretty big move. It is Friday. I know it's low volume. But right here, too, you can see there's a little bit of bearish div, right? That, doesn't really coincide. It's just not perfect. And they're kind of even, though. It's not, I'd say it'd be a little push for a bearish div. Bitcoin headed for the worst month since the crypto collapse of 2022. Isn't that insane? 3 years later, we're going to see one of the, if you told me that we were going to have the worst collapse ever. I mean, but you know what? It's funny. We saw it on the channel over and over again. I said, this is what assets look like when they take a beat down. I love it because it says that my system is stone cold. See, look, flip this upside down. If you were in a long and you got in here, and this is just a 1 minute, and then when the 21 got away from the 200, you would know that's when we're kind of done. We would start to dump. Look, this is what Bitcoin's doing on the weekly. You understand? This is Bitcoin on the weekly. Let me just show you something. I'm going to blow your mind. Who knows this? Who understands what I'm showing right now? Who completely gets this? Anybody here on the channel? And actually, let me get this chat out. I actually have to send this Vibes of the Cosmos. What was someone told me? Vibes of the Cosmos. Check that out. Okay, so hold on. I just want to get this chat out for everybody. And I got to send this to the trading group too as well. They know I'm live, but do they know I'm live? Shout out to anyone that's making gains with us. Today has been another great week of trading for me. I'm flashing the P&L because I'm loving it. You know what I mean? And it's been a good time. Doesn't mean I don't go 5 losses too, man. Sometimes it's tough. That's why when you put together a good P&L, rejoice in it. Be happy about it. And tell yourself, I'm going to keep this streak alive. I'm going to keep going. I'm going to be very, very, very careful about my trades. So anyway, BTC, right? This is flipped upside down right now. But my whole point is, see, I want to show you something. So I'm going to do this. We're going to go to the weekly time frame. We'll look at Bitstamp, USD, whatever. It doesn't matter. Which I've never traded Bitstamp, but... And you won't be able to see, and we'll delete all this because it's pointless. But so look at this. So here on the weekly, you get in when the moving averages are tight, and when the 21 and the 200 get far apart, that tells you something is brewing. That tells you there's, we have an issue there for BTC. And then now look, I flipped the 1 minute upside down. See how they look almost exactly identical? See this? And what I want to explain to you is the 1 minute is the weekly is the 1 minute. There's no difference. Take this video, timestamp it, run it through the internet, clip this out for my team. So here, team, I'm going to give you a perfect clip. I'm going to stop the music and everything. I'm going to give you a perfect clip to clip out. Everybody, I want you to understand how you can learn how to trade any asset in the world with any asset, and how you can learn how to trade any time frame with any time frame. And at first, that may sound completely confusing. You have no idea what I'm saying. My name's Sam Price, the Crypto Lifer. Thank you. I've been trading for over 20 years and doing technical analysis for over 12 obsessively, and then live streaming every single day for over 4 years doing TA. The thing is, what I've noticed is there's all these different nuances between time frames. Here on the left, I'm looking at the 1 minute time frame. Here on the right, I'm looking at the weekly. Both are Bitcoin. What's interesting about this is, look, this is the 1 minute flipped upside down. Today, Bitcoin got above the 200 and pumped. This is my signal. Whenever we get above the 200, I know there's going to be a pretty big move to the upside. You flip it the other way, and this would be a bull market, right? Bitcoin would get above the 200, start to pump, then it would get above the 200, start to pump, and then when it got really far away, and look, when the 21 and the 200 got very far apart, see this? That's when you know the engine, so to speak, would start to struggle, right? That's like you're going up a hill, and I look at it as like, you're starting to get that vibration. It's not working. Now look at the weekly. You would get in here at the beginning in the bear market times when no one cared, when people said, oh no, 25,000, and you would ride it to when the 21 gets away from the 200 moving average. That is right there a big area, again, this is the same thing. The 21 away from the 200, the 21, see, this is the weekly. This is the 1 minute flipped upside down. So you could learn how to trade short by watching Bitcoin, a Bitcoin bull run on the weekly. You could learn how to trade long by shorting Bitcoin on the 1 minute. You could find Bitcoin's bottom by comparing it to a scalp you made on the 1 minute one day. Now, yes, this will happen in hours. This will happen in months or years. That's the transparency through time frames. That's how you basically you transgress through different time frames. Very interesting. I have to get back to the live, but this is amazing. Check this out, and this will blow your mind. This is my system. This is how I figured it out. It was all there for me. You see what I'm saying? No one had to show this to me. I just sat in the charts until the charts revealed themselves. There is so much inside the charts that you can take money out of the markets. It's right here waiting for you. It's right here waiting for you. Okay. And that's just like, it's just mind blowing, right? This is what gets me excited about the charts, because I'm like, what journey will I go on tomorrow? What will I find out that I didn't know about that I know today? Because every day that I keep my mind open, every day that I believe there's more to be learned, there is. If I tell myself it's over and life is boring, then it is. If I tell myself there's so much more to learn and this is an everlasting adventure and I'm just beginning, then it is. So like, you're in charge of your reality, everybody. You're in charge of the belief of what it is. If you believe it's an amazing experience that you're willing to continue, look at this. I mean, how could the 1 minute flipped upside down be the weekly? How? Look, they look almost identical. 1 hill, 2 hill, 3 hills. 1 hill, 2 hill, 3 hills. Like, what the? Right? It'll blow your mind. Anyway, and look, you can even see this is like a small succession of it all too. Same idea. The 21 away from the 200. The 21 away from the 200. Whenever you see the 21-day moving average away from the 200 moving average on any time frame, and someone's telling you it's the best buy ever, I think you should kind of calm down. Again, not a financial advisor, but I think by probability, you should calm down and say, maybe I'm buying the top. All right. Now, you couple that with bearish divergence, which you will see every single time, basically. Every time you get a top on the 1 hour, on the 1 minute, like look at the 1 minute. You're going to see this here. You zoom into the 1 minute, and this is what I teach. This is what you're going to be, if you're hanging out with me and we're doing class, this is the type of stuff that you're going to be seeing over and over again. But you can see even up here, you'll get a bearish div in the stochastics RSI. Price action kind of went up to the upside Even here, like you can see price will go up. Well, not the perfect bearish div there, but it should have been. But this is a pretty good example too. Price is moving up, but this moves pretty flat, right? This should be moving up with price. When this is flat, if these could intersect, you got a bearish divergence. And the same thing happened here for Bitcoin. So like you got to understand your divergences. The small time frames will fine tune your ability to trade the bigger time frames. So what happens is you trade the 1 minute, you trade the 10 minute, the 15, the 1 hour for years. And then one day you realize the weekly is the same. And then you make a big boy trade on the weekly that changes your life. And again, for me, that's what happened. Okay. And now when I chuckle at people because I know all the money's going to come from the bigger time frame. Like the biggest amount of money that I ever make will come from this weekly. It'll be when Bitcoin hits $1 million and I look back on all the Bitcoin I accumulated, and it'll be a 20, I don't know, I don't want to say, but it'll be, 50, 60x, whatever, 20x from here. We'll see where it goes, right? If it goes to $1 million, there'll be a 10x. If it goes to 1.6, it'll be a 20x from here at 83, Anyway, let me jump onto what's happening right now and bring the music back and get the show running. But I just, this is what I do. This is why I do what I do, everyone. This is why I love what I do. All right. Critical times for Bitcoin. And again, if we get an $8,000 move back down to 75K, that's going to be a beautiful, that's going to be beautiful volatility, right? So back into the sauce right now. Let's see what's happening for Bitcoin. And it's struggling. It's not doing amazing. All right. It's kind of going back and forth here around $84,000. It is battling the 1 minute 200 moving average. If it could stay above that, there's a chance. Today we did get my scalp. So my strat, what I learned. So after doing all this, after watching all these time frames, and after spending hours and hours in the charts, my mind has deducted which is kind of the best way to trade. And again, I'm probably very biased because, I believe my way is the best. If I'm a high mathematical person and everything I do is based on math and probability, then why would I trade a system that I didn't think was the best? See, I'm a computer, right? Our brains are computers. So I'm like, okay, computer, how should I trade? And it's like, you should trade with the most amount of data that backtest the most amount of probabilities. And you should trade the best probabilities. And you're like, and you look around and you're like, has anyone traded, gone live as much as me and looked at the price action? So in your mind, or not even me, but the computer in your mind will be like, no, only trade what the computer tell you. You know what I mean? Look, a bit of a double bottom here on the 1 minute time frame too as well. All right, that's a double bottom for Bitcoin. And that has a measured move. If you can make it, that's 68% of the time. So if you just go with the flow that this is going to double bottom, there's a possible move. Am I in a long? I'm in a slight, tiny bit of a long. And I'll kind of explain why I'm in a long, and I'll show it to you in a second. But I really want to break down price action. But yeah, there's a possible double bottom here now on the 1 minute. I want to make sure, am I upside down? Yeah, I think I am. Yeah, see? So a possible double top. See? But what I'm seeing is this. It looks more flaggy to me, and I've been watching this all day. And again, the more you stay above the 200 moving average, and see how my mind sees the flag. Some of you didn't see the flag. Some of you did. It depends on what, how long you've been doing this, right? I started building these ascending triangles, I'd say 3 years ago. I'd never saw these before. So one day, price action used to pump, then it would dump, and I would just be kind of like, what is that? And one day I was like, oh, that's what it is. It's going to be getting an ascending triangle. Anyway. We'll have some fun. So right now I'm in a long. Let me show you the long that and I think I'm going to take another long here as well. Let's take a look here. So I'll start. This is very tough for me, but I'm going to start something that's very hard for me. $100 to $1,000. We'll try it again. I lost my first 90. It didn't end well for me. Let's see if we can do it again. I got $100 loaded up, $101.47 to be exact. All right, on a heavy volatile Friday, though, yikes, right? Hold on one second. There's the bot, too. Hold on, why is this looks different to me, right? Hold on, I want to make 88,000. Oh, yeah, I'm definitely, yeah, exactly. I was about to say, I'm like, that would have been a nice, see, it's funny, I saw a trade that happened beforehand. Sorry, I was reversed there during my teachings. Yeah, now I wouldn't take this trade. See how that's completely different? Now you're like, nah. So let's do our top 10 analysis. So now what would have to happen is I'd have to kind of hang. You got to get a bounce here. And it's also a shoulder head. It could make a right shoulder. You see this? And that could just dump you further to the downside too. And then you got a big gap of the VRVP, you got liquidity, you got people that jump the gun thinking they long the bottom. Sad to say now, because you lost on a bearish div on the weekly, you kind of have to win on a bearish div on the weekly now. You see, that's how it works. So now I would be looking for a massive divergence on a big time frame, which takes, it's like once every 4 or 5 years. So sad to say is my back testing and my years of knowledge are telling me this could take a while to bottom. This could give us 6, 7 months. It could take a year to bottom, everyone. I just want you to know that. Like, this could be a long time bottom. Not something that's going to happen overnight. So, strategy could be cut from MSCI indexes. I mean, now they're going to start this stuff, right? And of course, that comes from the Wall Street Journal. Michael Saylor defended the business model strategy and says his Bitcoin buying company won't change course if it's dropped from influential stock indexes. MSCI proposed cutting digital asset treasury companies from its indexes if crypto tokens make up a majority of their assets. It said it concerns they may exhibit characteristics similar to investment funds, which aren't eligible for indexes. A final decision is due on January 15th. He told the Wall Street Journal in an email that Strategy is an operating company. In addition to its Bitcoin stash, the company has a $500 million enterprise software division that has served institutional and government clients for over 2 decades. Yeah, 100%, you know. So funny, man. People will criticize a businessman that's done more than most of the world, all right, at the first notice that they can, right? Anyway, let's break this down. Let's do our top-down analysis for Bitcoin. I know that's why you came here, but I just, there's teaching moments every single day. There's so much to teach you and show you, especially in these moments when the price action starts to really change. And remember, you watch my channel. I said over and over again, I said this is, 68% of the time, a rising wedge is going to break down to where it began. Right? So most of the time, this is going to happen. Then you had a head and shoulder inside of it. Like Bitcoin told you right here, it had a head and shoulder. Bitcoin never lies, man. The last time it dumped with inside of a rising wedge with a head and shoulder basically inside. It did the exact same thing. The right shoulder was just a bearish retest, just like this. It did the exact same thing, actually. The last time it topped exactly the same way. You just have to go to like the 3-day or the daily to see it. It made a head and shoulder pattern. Shoulder, head, right shoulder. The right shoulder was the bearish retest of the rising wedge. And then it fell down, look, and it came all the way down to a 618 golden pocket. Where it did bounce at 30K all the way back to 67,000. Will we double top this time? Who knows? I feel like we already did, I feel like a right shoulder could be made here, but that would prolong the bear market. That brings Bitcoin somewhere back to 36,000, right? And would that make sense? I mean, it would have to be, it never really has gone lower than the 786. But yeah, scarily, that is 40K is the 786. That is the retracement, and that's what it did here. It hit the 786 right there, a little bit below to 15K, all the way from, you know what I mean? So Bitcoin takes these moves, man. It's crazy, right? But that's kind of what it does. If you're not ready for these, then you're just not ready for Bitcoin. If Bitcoin kept going up, it would have been an even more massive crash. If you want Bitcoin to survive in the long run, it's going to hurt in the short term. You see? And look, that says that's May of 2028. Like as it front runs, maybe comes after, right, $175,000 BTC, right? That makes sense to me. And I know everyone wants it to happen faster and quicker, but that's just not how it works. And now if they print money, you'd say it accelerates, but you need the actual funds. So you could extend this again. And their 786 would be like kind of here. Isn't that crazy how this could be like, and nothing goes straight up. And there, you're like 2030, you're at a $250,000 Bitcoin. It takes till 2040 to get to $1 million. A lot of people think 2030, $1 million BTC. I'm the most biggest bull you've ever seen. It just doesn't make sense. Show me the money. You know what I mean? So you got to be realistic. Maybe it gets more parabolic. And it could get to, but it's still, I still don't see, I see like a $500,000 Bitcoin by 2032, which would still be amazing. Okay? At the price it is right now. But you got to be realistic. Does anyone think this is absurd? What do you guys think of this? What do you guys and gals think of these projections? They look more realistic to me. What do you think? Are these projections realistic? Let's start a poll. Are these projections realistic? Yes or no? Let's see what you people think. I think we're getting fed too many stories about how big it could get, and I think we're not just being. I just think they want us blinded. We have to be real. They want to take your money. Whenever they keep telling you it's going higher, it's usually the top. I kept telling you guys too to be careful, right? Doesn't mean I don't believe in Bitcoin in the long term. It doesn't mean I'm going to continue to stack. I just got to go over the facts here. Okay? Needs to get to, yeah, exactly. Shout out to all my lovers alive. Shout out to everybody here. Every single cycle it came to the 786, 100%. Shout out to my man, Jason Casper. Jason, what do you think of these projections? Am I out of my mind here? Thank you so much for commenting on my X post. It made me happy. Yeah. Makes sense, but simply shock consideration. Yeah, those screaming like their hair is on fire are over leveraged. Yeah, realistically, I don't see Bitcoin hitting 1 mil in 2040. Most everybody missed the top. Yeah, either way win. Shout out to Casper and his walking pad. I love it. You know exactly. I should start. I'm messing up. The opposite of possible and realistic almost makes. Markets are crazy. Yes, but I believe we're still in a bull run and the 4-year cycle naturally extended as normal. People still think we're in a bull run. This is crazy, guys. Come on now. I'm showing you Anyway. When you're below the daily 200 moving average for more than a few weeks, you are in a bear market. I mean, let's look at the daily. How long has the daily been below the 200? 1, 2, 3. Look, I don't even have to do that. Hit shift and go sideways from here down. 17 days, bear market. All right. Once I'm below the daily 200 moving average for 2 weeks. Here we went below, came back, went below, came back. It was sketchy. At the same time, the weekly wasn't that up, You could say, fine, maybe we hold 75,000. There's a chance we do hold 75K. But we have a low volume week coming up with Thanksgiving where the order books are going to be slim. Nobody's going to be there. Everyone's going to not pay attention that day. Even me, I'm going to have to be, I'm going to have to be with my family a little more than normal. No, but I'm just joking. I spend a lot of time with my kids. But you know what I mean? It's that joke that you actually have to be there, On Thanksgiving, it's going to be, yeah. So slim order books. And look, we told you there was head and shoulders everywhere. And I just tell you to look at the patterns. I told you that was bearish. I told you that was bearish. I told you this was a bear flag. And that's our signal upside down. The 21 touching above the 200. Front running the golden cross. You see what I'm saying? Taking the measured move. And you can see where we're going just based on the measured move. Bitcoin nails the measured moves perfectly. $75,000 BTC. Here we come. It's on the way. So now if you're smart, what you're doing is you would wait for the next flag on the daily. You would wait for the next flag on the daily, like so. Something like this. Right? This is the most likely scenario. A little bit of a pump. People will get excited. They'll think it's the bottom. But if you're like me, you know what's going on. You just got to keep trading the trend. Damn, that says 60K. It says 58,000. It looks like it's going to be a rough ride. We could get there too by December. Everyone, remember they said we're going to be at $200,000 by the end of December? Remember all those people saying that stuff? No. And I'm not a perma bear. I'm the most bullish guy on Bitcoin, but I am also a guy who runs a trading group. My business is based off being a realist. If I told everyone it was going to be awesome and then it didn't, my business would be failing right now. And it's not, right? We have a lot of people that learn. I get testimonials every single day. People are writing things every day in the testimonials part inside my Discord. So, because I stick with the same stuff. This is good. So look, right now, you have to assume this is the next move. Unless you get a double top, there's a chance. You got some resistance there at 75,000. So I hope I've put things into perspective for you and flipped your mind and got you ready to make money because you got to make money both ways. And if you're stuck on it has to be one thing, we can't make that money. Now, here's our, the bullish scenario is we do this. And how would you know? Well, we'll get above the 1 minute 200, the 5 minute. If we get above the 15 minute 200 moving average and we start making some type of bull flag and the 21 touches, that's when you'll see me take a long. It's very simple. My strategy is very simple. You just got, the problem with my strategy is that's difficult for beginners. You have to know what time frame to look at it different. Like some days it's the 15, some days it's the 1 hour, some days it's the 4 hour. Like certain time frames take precedent at different reversal areas. I don't know why that is. And that's something the subconscious mind gets good at. I'll just know what time frame to watch. I'll be like, no, we got to watch the 15 minute today, or the 5 or the 15 or the ones, because you know what I mean? It depends on what's near the 200 really, because they're going to flip the switch for you and then continue the movement. All right. So let's do our top-down analysis. I did a lot of flippy-floppy stuff here. But let's just kind of look at the facts and go from there. So first fact that we have. What's the first fact statement we have on the monthly? That we have monthly support at 82,000. You close a monthly candle below that, you have to assume you're going to test 71,560. You close a candle below that, you have to assume 67. And if you close that, 61,000. All right? It is what it is. Fear can last for weeks and months. Amen. A black swan bringing Bitcoin super low would be a great Xmas gift. Yep. Said watch your bot instead of time frames. Kind of creepy. It's like, what? You know what I mean? It's like, what? Take a look at the 2-week chart. Bearish too. Remember the 2-week never looked good. The weekly had that Adam and Eve double top, had bearish divergence. I mean, the divergence, the 21 was away from the 200. And we started losing, in my mind. Remember, I was like, we lost the trend line. Like, right there, I was like, man, we're out of the trend line. I said, you can say whatever you want. Look at that. 4 weeks, beautiful love to the downside. Amazing. Crazy people don't even have to take profits of the short yet. It still pays. Right? So you bring this down, you can say, okay, we got some weekly support at 100,000, lost it quickly. We now have weekly resistance there at 85. 86,000 is now resistance. And so the next part you're coming to is about 78,000. And then if you lose that, it's like 71.9. So you see that? I mean, there's really no support. There's a little bit right there, 80K. But like and then look, the gap of the VRVP sends you right down to 71K. So I see 75 coming and probably more, to the downside. Now let's continue to move through. And this is great. The price, look, we lost the 200 moving average on the 3-day chart. I told you when you lose the daily 200, you go to the 2-day 200. When you lose the 2-day 200, you go to the 3-day 200. When you lose the 3-day, you go to the 4-day 200 moving average. That's going to be a possible double bottom at $78,000. So you can see Bitcoin is very likely going to 78K now. Now you just have to find your ticket to get in. So now we've basically can see for sure that Bitcoin's going to 78K. We just now have to find our way to get there. And there you go. I mean, there's a bear flag right there on the 1 hour time frame. That's likely going to start moving down. Already has, really. So the smart thing right now would be to short that, right? That would be the smart move, to short that right now. And again, I'm in Tether everywhere as much as I can be, because that just is what it is. I don't want to flash that. You're spot on as always. Can you look at Tesla? Shout out to Crypto Plumber, man. Thank you. Yeah. And it's telling, and look, now we're losing the 200 moving average, right? And this is where you cut off trades, maybe it will bounce. But my stop, I was basically saying, if you keep the 200 moving average, if you don't, I'm out. I love the 200 because it keeps me cutting off trades or getting in and out of trades, And now I'm going to start messing up my beautiful P&L. But still up massively in the last the last few trades, Did lose those two at 117, but you can see just winning. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 6, lost 3. So you're winning 6 out of your last 9 trades. You're doing very well. That's above 60%, right? And then or exactly 60%, or 66.66%, right? Isn't that interesting? 66.6666. He said, at 75 long now, follow me for more future funny. Somewhere there must be a giant A's, big boys are just, destroying retail. Yeah. So now you'd look at the 1 hour time frame like we did, and you can see it looks like a bear flag, right? And that's going to close a bearish engulfing candle too as well. So that tells you that it definitely should be a short. And you see the stochastics are oversold. And remember, I was telling everyone, like, everyone wants to make the big money, but it's all about just chipping away. Like, everyone thinks that this has to be the biggest trade ever, but Bitcoin's been volatile. Looks like it's going to bounce around, go down. It's going to be so fun to trade. So we're going to have a lot of opportunity to make our losses back if we focus. If we just sit there and dwell in pain and anguish, then yes, we're going to just continue to cry ourselves to sleep every night. But like, we can't do that. I can't do that. You can't do that. You see what I'm saying? Like, we just got to stay strong. Right? There's nothing else that we can do but stay mentally tough and push forward and continue to learn. There's really no other option. Like, we all have our backs against the wall. We're back where we need, and that's it. That is it. The key is not every trade's going to make us, not every trade's going to break us. To me, this looks like the bearish scenario. Like, everything looks bearish. We're making lower lows and lower highs. It's telling me that I should short this market. And even maybe just leave it alone on Sunday, but hey, on the weekend. But hey, so my take profit would be about 74, and I'll probably get out earlier than that, 714. But if it gets to 75, there will be that frothy push down, right? And then the stop loss would have to be at about 85,578, right? For me, again, you do whatever makes you happy. I am not a financial advisor. Nothing I say and do should be taken as such. This is my life, a diary of my life, right? And these are the tools in which I use. That's it. It's very simple, right? This channel is really just my life, day in and day out, 24/7, every single day. It's a diary of my trading career. You're here watching it with me. We do this together. We make it happen. Like, this trade doesn't have to be big. Remember, I'm up. So you don't want 300 for 13. All right, I'd still be, you want to me, it's about chipping away. I just want to continue to win. That's all. Doesn't have to be the biggest trade of my life every time I open a trade. It just has to be one that makes sense. So I'm going to enter that trade on the 1 hour. It just makes sense. That looks like a bear flag. The stochastics are overbought. We're in a downtrend. It's a high, a low, a lower high. I mean, this closes right that bearish engulfing, so I am front running it. I could wait for the candle to close. Okay. They just bounced it a little bit. But yeah, we'll see. And I won't look at that, and again, it's not going to make or break me. It's just going to add to the portfolio. Everyone's trying to, I was saying this today. Everyone's trying to make the last trade the biggest trade of their life. It's got to be the one. I'm going to make so much. I'm going to buy, I'm going to win a Lambo with this trade today. You win a Lambo after trading. I've been trading for 17 years. I started, I've been looking at investing since I was 22. I'm 42 years old. It took me 20 years to even get a handle on this stuff. And to be able to do this for a living where I am in my home, and you know what I mean? And quit my 9 to 5 and do what I want to do with my life. And not have to ask anyone for a handout, But I built this. I built everything I have. Day in, and anyone says, people run their mouth. They say a lot about the people that are out here. Whatever they want to call people, KOLs, social media guys, influencers. I feel like I'm none of the above. I'm just a trader that uses tools. That's all. These are the tools I use. If you want to use them with me, links are there. Like, it's just very simple. And I got a school. You want to jump into school? You want to learn? I'm here every day. You want to learn how I do it? You want to see how efficient I am? You want to see when I wake up, when I go to bed? You want to watch my, screen shares every single week? You want to grind? Come on in. Less than $3 a day. Jump on in. We're here. You know what I mean? Like, what else can I do? It's just a diary of my life. And I hope somehow, some way you can gain some insight from all the things that I've been through. That's really what this channel is about. There's nothing really there. I don't shill coins, right? We don't, I'm not sitting there like, hey, we don't do any of that. We just trade, baby. We just trade. Positive mindset, positive force, and we keep pushing. Some days are way harder than others. Some days are awesome. Some days go well. Sometimes this week I was 6 for 6 on Wednesday. I won my trades last night. Everything seems to be good, right? Throw the bot to the, yeah, exactly. And honestly, like land, getting some land, growing your own food, having horses maybe for the kids, having some cows. These are goals. Then you can get other things too. But like those are the biggest goals, I believe, right? Bro, stop shorting the bottom, short the tops. Funny. My goal is to take care of my mom. Amen. Yeah. I remember the last person that told me not to short the bottom, right? He got racked. Remember that? We're just shorting I'm doing exactly what we're supposed to do. SR flip, previous resistance is previous support was resistance. That's an SR flip right there. So there's 100 different ways to look at this, but yeah, it's a bear flag. It's touching the 21-day moving average. Stochastics are high. All chart that's going to go to the downside, Still trying to pull off my first long/short. Don't worry, you will. All right. Exactly. My goal is to take care of my mom. Exactly. Hey, you do what you got to do. No, like the smart thing is like, say I was up in Solana. You sell it for, you sell Solana for a gain, put the money aside, take the profits to get something that you appreciate, right? And it's funny, remember, you don't have to answer to anybody. Like I don't have to answer to anybody for the things that I purchase in my life. Remember that. I don't have to answer to anybody. You don't either. You do what you want with your money, okay? And you don't have to answer to a person. Just remember that. It's your life, especially if you worked every single day for 4 years straight, 5 years straight, built the business. You don't have to answer to anybody. All you have to do is show up every single day, and that says enough, right? Amen. Amen. So look, Bitcoin, bear flag, likely going back down to 76,000, and that's kind of my analysis for BTC on the day. If it were able to get back above maybe the 15-minute or the 5-minute 200 moving average, the 15-minute 200 moving average, there's a chance we could reverse here. Shoulder, head, right shoulder, that could be a slight higher low. Maybe we rip. But right now, it just looks unlikely to me for BTC. Right? 86 horses is amazing. Still no Bitcoin. Dang, man. Yeah, my goal is to quit slaving in poor conditions and stay home and click a mouse to cash in. Hey. Don't panic. Sell your alts. Alts will make you... Oh, wow. What a weirdo. Yeah. Exactly. I haven't pants in 2 years. Thanks to Sammy. Now I'm free. God bless you. Yeah. Remember, when you comment on other people's purchases in life, it makes you a brokey. Don't be a brokey. Focus on your own life. Your own life. Every time you focus on someone else's wallet, someone else's purchase, you're not focused on your own. Remember that. 100%. So that's broke mentality. Don't have a broke mentality. It's not good. 100%. And have some respect for yourself. Every time you put someone else down or you're negative, everyone in the world knows you're a negative person to yourself. You're showing the world, I am negative to myself, and I'm letting everybody know that. And that shows that you don't respect yourself, because you wouldn't. People are negative to people they don't respect, right? If you loved yourself, you wouldn't speak negatively about anybody else, because that shows everyone else you speak negatively about yourself when you're alone. That's a habit you formed, and we know that. So anyone who speaks negatively of anyone will say a prayer for them, number one. And number two, we know they have no respect for themselves. So if you're doing that, please have some respect for yourself. The best thing you could do. Okay? Amen. I just want to have this little talk because a lot of people seem here to have no respect for themselves, and it's kind of sad. And that's the problem with society today. We have people that just don't respect themselves, and they treat other people the same way they treat themselves, with no respect. All right? Sam, what time chart do you love to see if doing a weekly trade? A weekly chart. I bought a Game Boy Color 999 with my... I'm now... you're funny. I got a 99 with my alts. What the heck? My goal is to move to the French Alps to get my own place, grow my own food, and ski the winter seasons with my family. Being around my family is the best thing, man. That sounds amazing, bro. Yeah. Exactly. So here we go. I mean, come back down for this double bottom, and that's a chance, but it does look like we're going further to the downside here for Bitcoin. So shorts are all there. Yeah, exactly. 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 You're the king, Sam. Shout out to my man. God bless you. Exactly. I have people can hate, but at the end of the day, I'm only happy for you. I'm happy for people. I'm happy for everyone in my life. I've realized that any hate I've ever held hurts me inside more than the person that I'm hating. You know what I mean? It just doesn't do anything for me. So I'm willing to get into my own business and keep a positive attitude for the day. Whenever I look at other success and let it bring me down, my day will reflect that attitude 100%. God bless you, man. Yeah, we stay in our own little zone grinding. And so happy for what we do have. Amen. So yeah, I see more downside for Bitcoin to 76,009 and then even down to 71.5. And that's the call for the day. And here we are. And here we are. And there we were. The Fed watch bounced a little bit. You think that would give us a little bit of green bounce, but it only last night kind of gave us a little something, but 73%. That I believe they will cut the rate. And when they cut the rate, you'll see something big, but that time Bitcoin will be so down, it will just kind of like, right? I got wrecked on Tuesday. Now I'm up 10K on the short, man. Sounds like you go extra hard. Yeah. You get back what you project out into the universe. Amen. And let's just pray for a moment. I'm sorry, but I have to. Dear Lord, thank you for everything you've given me. As Bitcoin tanks, let me not get so full of price action in my mind that I can't be there for my kids and my family. Help me stay positive. Help me breathe in the fresh air and stay in the present moment. And help me realize that price action comes and goes, and I can't let it rule my entire life. Amen. Can you check out the liquidity levels for Bitcoin, Sam? If this dump, are we in a bear market now? We are in a bear market. Yes. Anyone who says we're not doesn't understand how to trade price action. Yeah. We could get out of the bear market like in 3 weeks if we're back above the daily 200 moving average. Then there's a chance but right, and then I would say it was a 2-month bear market. But right now we are 17 days deep into a bear market. A bear market is when you are below the daily 200 moving average for a prolonged period of time. That's how I define it. Anyone else can define it how they want. And I just showed you it's been 17 days below the daily 200 moving average. You have a death cross on the daily. You have a death cross, possibly coming later on that 4-day chart. You had one here, right? And it was the beginning of the dump. So some say maybe you'll make an inverted head and shoulder. That could save the day. Possibly. I don't know. I think it's just too early to tell right now. We have to focus on what we see in front of us. And that's the 1 hour touching the 21. Looking bearish. And we're seeing if this 1 hour will close a bearish engulfing candle. That will close a tweezer top, bearish engulfer, which would only likely send us further to the downside. All right. So I'm just giving it to you the way I see it. Someone said, why are you shorting the bottom? It's just the funniest thing I've ever heard. I'm just doing what I'm supposed to do. All right. We are not in a bear market. We are in a manipulation market. Yeah. Lifer, will there be an alt season? No. No, not right now. Not that I see it. Bitcoin would have to recover. You know what I'm saying? Well, look at Sol BTC. Look at altcoins versus Bitcoin. And that's something we want to look at here. This will tell you something about altcoins. I mean, it's hugging a higher low. So you could say, there's somewhat of an uptrend here that it's still holding. But you'd have to get a bounce sooner than later. Like there would have to be some information, like some ETF, something happening. Bitcoin dominance falls, something like Sol connected to the regular market, something like Sol and Nvidia maybe. Something's got to give. We got to see something on the NASDAQ doing deals with Solana. And you get it? Like we have to decouple in some way and connect to something that's already pumping. And to me, I mean, that's hanging by a thread. That starts to fall. And you can also see it looks like it could make a right shoulder here. And then, you're coming back down somewhere, maybe even down. So I just, maybe you get tight and break out. But it's on its last little leg there, Solana BTC. So this is like Sol for Bitcoin. I mean, it's making a higher low. It's attempting to dig in. So you got to watch your BTC pairs. And they would kind of, if they start to edge up, then there's a chance there's some alt season. But for the most part, I don't know. I'd say no. I think a lot of people are blowing copium, smokium. People are like, well, we're in Bitcoin dominance. That's a right shoulder there. A lot of times, altcoins could end the cycle. There's a chance. Maybe we have this altcoin rippage at the end. I mean, there's a chance. What I'm seeing now is Bitcoin dominance is falling, but I'll tell you two things. Bitcoin dominance pumps and dumps for two different reasons, not the same. And I'm going to go over this. I've gone over this many times. You have money on the sidelines, which is Tether. Right? You have altcoins, which is total 3. You have Bitcoin dominance. and you have tether dominance. And I'm doing this because I'm a visual learner, and I teach in visualization because I learn as visualization. And if you're listening and you're an audio learner, you can listen to this. So I get everybody, which is awesome. So we get, all right. And so in an alt season, we have money leaving Bitcoin dominance and leaving tether dominance. Both of these charts are dumping, correct? And money's flowing into the alts. So we see tether coming from the outside source, and it's leaving Bitcoin and tether because it's going into the altcoins. That's alt season. Okay, so when you see Bitcoin dominance and tether dominance in a bearish chart, both dumping together, the money's going into the altcoins because where else can it be going? Now, but what if Bitcoin dominance is dumping, like right now, but tether dominance is pumping? That's telling you people are running out of altcoins and Bitcoin to go into tether. Understand? And why is Bitcoin, and because people are just losing confidence in cryptocurrencies and getting into tether. So if we go right now and look at Bitcoin dominance and see that it's red, but we see that US tether dominance is green, then we're likely going lower. And there's no alt season. Not until you see a bottom for tether dominance. And Bitcoin dominance also continues to drop. Like if for some reason, the top. So tether dominance has to top out in the next week or two, while Bitcoin dominance makes this right shoulder. And then as Bitcoin dumps, tether dominance also has to dump. If that happens, I'll see it. I go over it every single week. I project this and I look at it a couple times. If anyone's going to know when alt season is, it's going to be me, because I've been using this exact way to find alt season for the last 6 years. It plays out because it makes, you can backtest this. We know my theories work because I showed you how the weekly is the 1 minute and the 1 minute is the weekly. And you can see that I can tell you when things are going to begin. I called the bottom of the bull market. I called the top of this bear market. I can't say I called the exact top, but I told you we were topping out. I said, this is the top. I said every single time I've seen a market top out, it looks just like Bitcoin right now. I mean, you got bearish div on the monthly, for crying out loud. People were trying to say, yes, the cycle's over, but I feel fine. Make money go up and make money sideways, make money go up. Yeah, exactly. We can make money anyway. We don't have to get stuck on a cycle. And that's the key of the Crypto Lifer Trading Group, that we are free of that. We are free of that idea. And that's why if you go to the link below and jump on in, we're having an awesome Black Friday Cyber Monday sale next week. And I advise you to take advantage, man. That's going to be the least expensive, the least affordable way to get into a premium Discord that's going to change your life. Premium education at an affordable rate. All right? A little over $2 a day, and I'm here every single day without a day off. It's insanity. Right? You can too is my statement to everybody, because there's just no reason why you can't make it happen and push yourselves every single day. You can too. You can, you will, you are the best. I believe in it. I believe in you. You believe in me. Together, we make an amazing community. I wouldn't be able to show up every day if all these people didn't show up as much as they did and really support and love me. You people are awesome. You people are amazing. You people are basically the light in my life. My kids, my wife, and my trading group. You mean the world to me, everybody here, because I have a purpose. I show up every day and we get to do something together. Right? So if you love what you're doing, if you want to continue the journey, we got a beautiful forum. Just hit the link below my live streams right here. Black Friday Early Bird. Hit that. It'll take you to a beautiful forum. And right here, you can fill out that form right there. And that's going to give you 24-hour access starting that Thursday, basically Thursday at 12 a.m., 12 or 1 a.m. till we turn to Friday. And then at Friday, you'll get a code basically emailed to you that night that will give you 24-hour access to put the code in to gain the added benefit. All right, it's an added discount on top of what you're already getting on Black Friday. So hey, that's what we're offering. That's what we're doing. Fill out the form. Even if you filled it out last year, fill it out again. And there you go. All right. And there you go. The bot might have to open up another long to stay inside the game here. Getting closer and closer to liquidation, man. Jeez Louise. This is insane. Can the bot survive one of the biggest dumps in history for Bitcoin? It's algorithmically set to do so. It can find its way out. It just needs one more bigger buy at the bottom here, and then it will only bing. It'll find its way out. I have full faith in it, but this is the biggest test it's ever had for me. The Minotaur trading bot. I can't wait to show what happens when it gets put to the test and it makes it out alive. Pretty crazy. Follow me at CryptoLifer on X. I'd appreciate that. X.com. Go to CryptoLifer. All right. And you can also follow the the C Lifer official account. C Lifer official. If you want to jump on in today. Okay. But I'm here all the time. I'm talking about rate cuts. I'm talking about this and that. I'm showing all the stuff. Even my P&L. Hey. I mean, when you lose once out of 7 times, it's pretty awesome. Right? 90% win rate. You're doing something right with your life. You can't do that by accident, I'll tell you that. You can't just click and have that happen. It's very unlikely. Very unlikely. So the short is starting to pay, and it looks like it's going to continue to do so. I'm the king of 3%. We did have to cut off that long, but it is what it is. You got to understand. I play the odds on that, on my signal there, above the 200 moving average. And also, a loss signal. And look, that candle just closed. It's confirmed a bearish engulfing candle. You would assume the next one will fall to the downside. That's a bear flag, friends. And I'm just looking for $75,000 Bitcoin. Kind of want to double down on that long now that we have done, but I'm going to be light. It's Friday, low volume. Nothing, it doesn't, it's not the best day to trade personally. And I know that, so. Let's take a look at the altcoins, total 3, and then we're going to look at Tether dominance as well, just to kind of show you. If Tether dominance is pumping, no. All right. I mean, you can see we got ripped off, man. Alt season never came. That was your high there, October 9th. And they demolished the market after that day, and it had never been the same. Someone saw a bunch of liquidity and saw a way to get out of the market, I don't know, man. That was... And I remember after I saw the wick, I said they always revisit these wicks. I remember my mind told me, I said they always come back for this. Because I remember all the influencers said, all you had to do is buy that 125K by next week. And I knew something, when I heard that and I saw that, I knew something was weird. I said, man. And then we bearishly retested the trend line. You know what I'm saying? And then my dreaded daily, I kept telling everyone, if we lose that daily 200, everyone, I become a bear. And everybody knows why, because when we gain it, I become a bull. So how can I trade that how can I trade the 1 minute crossing the 200 every single day of my life, and then not flip bearish when the daily loses it? Don't you understand? It's the same trade like I showed you. That's why I was showing you what I showed you earlier today. You can't, that's why once you have a model, you can't do the wrong thing twice. You can't long wrong, you can't short wrong. Like, this tells you exactly what you should be doing. That's a short right there. Touching the 21, making the flag. I mean, bang. I've studied this I've made this my basically my trading wife. I use this every time. I'm going to take a shot at ginger right now. You're going to see me go, whoa. Let me get the ginger off the bottom there. Make sure we get all that extract. Don't let it sit. There we go. And glass bottles too. Gotta have glass, man. That's concentrated ginger. I'll tell you that right now. Yeah. Ooh. Ooh. Just getting through this. Almost, got that. That'll be good. Coinbase to acquire Solana's Vector. Leading cryptocurrency exchange Coinbase has announced its commitment to acquire Vector.fun. In a post to X, Coinbase informed its over 6.6 million community members of the decision. This marks a pivotal moment for the trading platform that operates on the Solana network. Coinbase's strategic bet on Solana growth. As per Coinbase's announcement, this exchange is doubling down on Vector as it believes that Solana is growing at a significant pace. Hence, acquiring Vector will allow Coinbase to increase. It would be cool to see alt season and alts just decouple from Bitcoin. Like Bitcoin decouple from the alts? Maybe the alts decouple from Bitcoin. I don't see it. I'd have to actually watch that happen in real time, and we'll know. We'll get probabilities. Like, the charts will start showing things. Is there some bullish silver lining here? Is there a chance that the altcoins could be doing this? There is. An elongated. And is there a chance we bounce here? There always is, folks. I'm always open-minded, but that's like, now that has to be. That even elongates, and that would mean alt season doesn't start until April of 2026, and then it runs until August. and we get this amazing spring, April, May, June, July, and we rip to $1.84 trillion. This is still possible. See how open-minded I am? Yeah, you feel a little better, right? Giving you a little hopium copium for Friday. Now you're like, okay, Sam's not a complete bear. He's not a complete troll bear. There's a chance. So you're telling me there's a chance, right? There's always a chance, folks. There's always a chance. And that's why we will stay open-minded. Doesn't mean we won't short this market, though. Look at that puppy, man. Up 10%. And again, remember, I'm doing great on the P&L. I don't have to risk a big... See, when everyone has a good P&L, like they make 6, 7 grand, 3 grand, 5 grand, then they just like, oh, now I'm going to start risking 3 grand a trade. They lose half the P&L in one night, and then next thing you know, they go again. And next thing you know, in a week, they're right back to zero. But they were just up 3, 4 grand last week. Because they just, you know what I mean? Look, a little bit of a bounce here for Bitcoin. Could be an inverted head and shoulder there. The Stochastics RSI says that's just a fake move. We're going to dump on that. But you never know. Low volume Fridays are sketchy, but the Stochastics have crossed. That tells me the dump is coming. Probably a good place to double up right there into that green move. But again, you do whatever makes you happy. I do whatever what I see here on the charts. And together we have some fun. Our privacy coin was up for a second. MMT, the only thing really there in Kita. Remember Kita? And really nothing else going on for the month. Red for all coins, owning WFI and Alchemist AI, which is interesting. I own some of that. See, the only green coin was Alchemist AI for the year. Oh my gosh. Metal, QRL, XPR, and WFI. Wow. What a rough year. 2025. It seemed like the year of everything, right? Bitcoin hit 100K in December. But man, it started with a black swan when Trump coin hit the highest ever there. And that's kind of created, ever since then, things kind of went downhill after that. Sad to say. Ever since then, things went downhill. Absolutely absurd. For altcoins, Bitcoin continued to do damage, right? Should we short Zcash? It's about to tank. I'll be honest, when I look at all that stuff, like I was looking at Zcash on the bigger time frame, and remember I said, like, be careful? Like last night I said, it looks good. I said, but the 3-day chart and the 4-day chart, they're very bearish. If you're shorting Zcash, I guess it would be like this. We'd short it on the 3-day chart, right? Back to the 21-day moving average. I don't know, the daily's near the 21 and oversold too. It's like, wow, I get mixed signals from it. If you short it, I would short the 3-day chart, these tweezer tops. You'd be front running it to close in 2 days and 8 hours. It would be nice to get the close first, but again, you could get a big move down. I mean, there's nasty bearish div there, right? It tells you you're cooked. Please say something about Gala. I mean, Gala looks horrible. I don't know what to say. What do you want me to say, right? And I'm telling you right now, everyone thinks altcoins will take a beat down with Bitcoin. They just get worse and worse. 3 days above the two. See, Zen has it's above the Zen's above that 200 moving average, but now it has a head and shoulder pattern. That thing could dump right back to 3 beans too. I mean, dang. Altcoins have been just brutal. They've been good to swing trade for a day or two, but that's about it. Wasn't the chart case for Casp, but Casp was cooked, brother. Cooked. I remember when After Hours Investing sold it at 19. Best thing he ever did, man. Completely cooked. Look at that. Yeah, that thing's cooked, bro. Always a strange chart, honestly, compared to others. Like the way it, and we could see that was our top. Look, head and shoulder pattern. You got to just trade the patterns, man. At the end of the day, the patterns will get you going. Like, that's a head and shoulder. You sell that right shoulder. They're 68%, but it feels like they're 98%, man. These things don't lie. Patterns don't lie. The charts don't lie. They tell you what's going to happen. Yeah. We did used to talk about cat. Yeah, please. I gave up on that the second. Remember the second they started that. The second they botched. Remember it was like a year and a half ago when they botched the. They botched their their KRC 20 launch. I gave up. That's when I was cooked. And then some dude was also like, their whole team was divided politically and doing weird stuff. Sad to say, they destroyed the community. Yeah. Opium Springs Eternal. Yeah. He says, I'm long Zen right now. I would just be careful for altcoins, honestly. Sad to say. Very careful. Shout out to BTCC. You're still giving awesome returns on BTCC. I had that window up, but if you check it out, they're still giving back all the way until November 27th. So 6 more days. If you hit certain types of volume, you get back a lot. So Bitcoin attempting to put in this higher low and hang right here. You see, and Fridays are tough trading as they are. They're just tough. Low volume, sketchy, right? I'm in the short, but you can see it's just kind of looks like, it's kind of dwindling right here. And I'm not risking a lot. I think it was 500 for 15, right? And we'd have to get a pretty big move, so yeah. Oh, man, what a day. What a day. A Friday, right? And just to see us imploding the entire market, it is what it is, though. There's still going to be opportunity. If I believe I can find it, then I will. Even my mind's like, how? And my mind says, well, you have no choice, Sam. You either create a positive mindset and push forward every day. You live in the present and you thank God for everything you have, or you live in depression and pain. And I'm not going to do that. So I have 2 choices in life. And one is to make the best of every single thing that's going on. Thank God I worked as hard as I did for as many years as I did. Okay, so I have a lot of hard work to fall back on. And it doesn't mean it's going to take care of me forever, but I got a work ethic that I know that I can continue to use. If you have a strong work ethic and good discipline, then what do you have to fear? You have nothing to fear, because you know that the rest of the world will fall off. You will keep going. I'll work on the field 10 hours a day if I have to. I can grind. It doesn't matter. I will make an opportunity for myself no matter what. No matter what. I will never just sit there and let things happen to me. I will make things happen. Amen. You will too. That's what being a crypto lifer is really about. It's about someone who doesn't just sit back and wait, let the world do it. It's someone who makes a plan and executes their plan. If you're not executing your plan, you're part of someone else's. Understand that 100%. Okay. It's just that's facts. Facts. I wonder what my first trade will be. 100. It's so boring to go 100 to 1,000 though, when you could go harder, But I should just short that same bear flag, right? I mean, it's like, I feel like that would have been the perfect short. I like to short and long at the 21. This one you have to be way like an account I'm already up that I'm risking way little of the profit. In this account, 2 different things. It's like you trade each of these accounts differently. This one has to be exact. Like my trades have to be exact, and they have to be for very little. Like you can't play games. Like that means I'd have to get all the way to 73 just to make no money. You know what I mean? It's very, but again, I realize you have to believe in the long term here when it comes that there's always going to be another trade every day, and just keep looking at the present moment to really turn 100 to 1,000. For me, very difficult. So we would be taking profit at 74,366. The stop would have to be above, 85995, right? And you could only risk 1% per trade, right? So this would be 1 for $4. You see, anything about that would be over risk. Like if I went 10 for 40, that's 10% a trade. That's a high risk. If I lose $10, I could do that 10 times before I lose my entire portfolio. You see what I mean? And with fees, it gets even higher than that. They're digging in right now too. There's a chance this becomes like kind of a bounce. You never know. You're oversold now. Kind of a sloppy inverted head and shoulder. Got some diamond vibes in a way. Let me show you what I mean. Like it's tough. I'm not a fan, but and again, low volume Friday, they could spike it up right now, spike it back down. It's very high risk. Very high risk. I still think the short's in there. I'm going to take the short 10%. If I could grow the portfolio 50% on that one move, or even 20% on that one move. So I'm so in tune. I truly believe that short's going to play out based off of the data that I'm looking at. But no guarantees, right? And see my liquidation, my stop loss, and there you go. Now it's $15? So something happened there. Interesting. Very difficult to grow $100 to $1,000 for me. I don't know if ever, you know what I mean? I can trade 100 for 300. That's different. I'm using bigger money behind the account, right? Trade's going well here on the other side, though, right? It's already up $69, 10%. We're just gonna, hey, if we add $500 to what we already made, unbelievable. It's all about everyone wants to win it all. Just be humble with a win today. And a small win adds up over time. I just keep repeating. And I know that it doesn't sound amazing. I know that's not what people want to hear. But I'm telling you, over time, look at me, 100,000. Hold up. Look at me, right? Like one thing I got to talk about. And I'm right here. Look at this. Look at the plaque, right? I got to bring the plaque out because it means so much. And I thought about this plaque all the time. That's just like you thinking about getting to a $10,000 portfolio or a $100,000 account. And you're like, one day I'm going to make enough. I'm going to buy that house. I'm going to buy that supercar. I'm going to do, you know what I mean? I'm going to show the neighborhood who I, whatever, or you're going to buy that farm or you're going to donate that money, whatever it is. So my point is this. I looked up to this plaque. It was an imagination to me for a long time. One day I'm going to get to 100,000 subs. One day YouTube's going to recognize me. I'm going to write a letter to Google and they're going to send me my plaque. I'm going to click on the link and they're going to really see that it's a real 100,000. It's not fake. And they're going to send me my plaque, right? Even when I applied for the plaque, I was like, oh my gosh. Because remember when, I don't even want to say what happened. But remember how I got shot up twice for, someone did that. And so I was nervous. And I had FOMO and fear. I had a little bit of fear that something, just something you've wanted your whole life, you've dreamed of for years, just like, so yes, I wanted 100K. And yes, there was days I just wanted to fast forward to there, but it wasn't going to happen. It took years, friends. It took 5 years, every single day. So my advice to you, if you want to become an amazing trader, multi-million-dollar trader, you want to change your life trading, you want to become the best trader in the world, you want to show people all your gains, or you just want to see gains for your family, you just want your family out of poverty, you want to quit that job, right? It's going to be one day at a time. And it's going to be small wins that add up over time. It's not going to be this big, huge gain one day. I mean, maybe you're going to get better and better, and one day you will have a bigger trade than normal. It'll happen. You see what I'm saying? It will happen. But I just want you to understand, these things take time, man. Big wins are not things that happen overnight. When you win big, it's the culmination of years and years and years and years and years of discipline. I might make a big multi-million-dollar trade one day, and I might be worth 20 mil at the time and only risk $1 million. And I might go 1 mil for 10 mil or 1 mil for 7 mil. And I might see my strategy above the 200. Now I might nail along and I might hit 5 mil and become one of the, make one of the biggest trades on YouTube, 5 mil, but it will be because I have went so long that I'm now worth 30 to 40 mil that 1 mil is not that big to me. And I can take a bigger chance. See, for me, as I just get a bigger net worth, I take bigger shots. Because if I lose, back in the day, if I lost 100 grand, man, it would devastate me. Now, if I lose 100 grand, it would devastate me, but it's not you know what I mean? I'm not trying to brag, but I'm just saying it wouldn't hurt as bad as it would have back in the past. And again, there's guys bigger than me, right? These guys lose 5 mil this year, and they're like, that was just one of my shots, I'm worth 200 mil. I'll make it back. No stress. I got 40 of those. You know what I mean? So your net worth does depend on how you feel about your trades. Because if you're so far above those trades, it can't affect you if you lose or win them. You're just adding to the portfolio, right? Look, they're trying to get a bounce here. They're battling this candle now. It could be a higher low. Kind of an ugly inverted head and shoulder. And some days I'd rather just not lose than win. To me, that's all that matters, is keeping the losses super small. Super small. Like, I don't even like that already. It's already a possible tweezer bottom now. And I tell you, Friday is a sketchy day to trade. I should probably not even trade today. I should probably cut this off and walk away as a smart man. You know what I mean? I'm being greedy. It does look like a bear flag, though. I'll keep my stop loss very close. I mean, the stochastics tell me I'll win. Just got to sit through the pain. I can't get emotional. You don't touch that stop loss until it hits. You hear me, boy? Funny, I was just looking at what I just drew. Look at this. Oh my gosh. But dude, we do so much teaching. We have fun on this channel. There's so much stuff I can break down every single day on the channel. It never ends. It's awesome. Let me get into the chat and see what you people are saying. Let me get back to the poll and see what the poll says. Are these projections realistic? 69% say yes, 31% say no. Tom Lee still believes 150K to 200 Bitcoin by the end of the year. Honestly, anything is possible for Bitcoin. It could happen. It could happen, but just go play golf instead, 100%. Right? Too many shorts out there. I might take profit on mine and wait. Bull runs over, buddy. Nice platinum YouTube app. Yeah. Exactly. What about short time frames? Someone says it could be a short trap. It might be. You never know. They're playing indecision now. It could go either way. I see it as a bear flag because it's touching the 21. I would trade that bullishly upside down. Yeah. Someone said you were so accurate with Bitcoin yesterday. Thank you. I appreciate that. Yeah, I looked at the testimonials. A lot of people were happy. It was awesome. I appreciate it. Praise on X too as well. It happens, right? Don't call me a genius when I win. Don't call me a loser when I lose. It's just part of the data set, right? It's just what I do every day. We have fun together. But look at this. Only the lifer. Sam called the short from 89 to 81K and target hit. Nobody does it better. Bang, man. Thank you. Thank you, Matthew Bino. It's very nice of you to say. And you know how many people have said these things about me in the past, man? Thank you. You're awesome, Matthew. May God bless you, brother. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. Crazy to think that the Fear and Greed Index is so low that we could still go down to at least 60K. Yeah. I'm comfortably waiting to buy BTC. Exactly. And again, taking nibbles here is a great idea. Anytime. Tom Lee is now saying there's a software glitch caused by the October 10th plunge. Says need 2 more weeks to get everything back in shape. So crazy. What I do is when I see stuff like that, I take it and I paste it into Grok and I just put a question mark and Grok kind of like explains what the heck you're talking about. You know what I mean? So I don't have to search the internet and waste my time. Grok saves me so much time. It searches the internet for me. I'll just tell you, can you tell me more about this? And the better you get at using Grok, the better you get at using it. You see what I'm saying? And then you get better at not wasting your time. It becomes a very efficient tool. I feel like if you're not using Grok a few times a day, at least 10 times a day, something wrong. You're missing out. I was watching this Microvision space, right? I was looking at all these different coins yesterday. It's funny, some coins had a bit of a move. Look at Quantum Ledger. You know they're going to start that quantum nonsense again. And anything with the name quantum in it. Again, I don't know much of this coin. It could have a very small, market cap. I usually can't mess with it. But it is touching the 21 above the 200 in a flag. And coming back down to a Fibonacci retracement at about a 618. So, hey. Bada boom, bada bang. It has everything that I look for. I don't know what it is, though. QRL, I think we traded this once or twice. Let me go take a look at the market cap of QRL. Anything hot today? This Canton CC keeps coming up. It had a nice little pump before everything else. Newer coin on the radar. And BitLight. Let's talk about BitLight, which we went over yesterday inside the weekly screen share. They gave us BitLight in as a new coin on the radar. Up 72% today, BitLight. And I'm going to be nice enough to show you. I get this every day, right? Best performing bull signals over the last 7 days. Plank, Zera, Anoi, and Anoa. Zero, BitLight, Trador, Telcoin, right? recently turned bullish 6 days ago. And best daily performance, BitLight, Resolve, WickerCat, Rubycoin, and ORRE. I don't know if the ORRE we were in back in the day. I think it's a different one, but... and I just want to take a look at BitLight. I like learning about new coins every day. It's fun. Yeah, so Quantum Precision Ledger, 114 million on the market cap. You know, pretty low volume there. $500,000 on the ball. Right, that's, you know, you could move that thing 50K or so. That's just like... Stands at the forefront of blockchain innovation designed to withstand the looming threat of quantum computing. I think there's a lot of this stuff. They're just going to say stuff like that, you know. QRL, interesting, right? I mean, it's, you know, if anything's brewing today, there's something. So there's always a narrative out there, friends. There's always a narrative. So Grok said Tom Lee, head of research at Fundstrat Chain, recently appeared on CNBC to discuss the ongoing weakness of the crypto market, attributing it to a mechanical software glitch tied to the sharp plunge on October 10th. He described the event as starting with pricing error in a stablecoin called Athena USDE on the Binance exchange, where its value briefly dropped from 1 to about 65 due to the system relying on internal exchange quotes rather than cross-exchange data. This glitch triggered an automatic deleveraging ADL process, essentially like forced margin calls, was cascaded across platforms and wiped out nearly 2 million accounts, many of which were actually profitable just minutes earlier. It resulted in the largest liquidation event in crypto history, with over 19 billion in leveraged positions erased, crippling the market makers who provided essential liquidity, acting almost like a central bank for crypto. This created holes in the market makers' balance sheets, forcing them to reduce trading activity and sell assets reflectively as prices fell further, leading to a steady drip decline we've seen in Bitcoin from a peak around 125 in early October to 86,000. Lee compared it to similar to an unwind in 2022, which took about 8 weeks to fully resolve. As of the comments on November 20th, we're roughly 6 weeks in, so he estimates it could persist for another 1 to 2 weeks before liquidity stabilizes and the market bottoms out, potentially around 77,000 for Bitcoin. He views this as a mini black swan event, driven by automation and excessive leverage, not any fundamental problems with blockchain or crypto assets themselves, and suggested it could be a buying opportunity for long-term investors once the forced selling eases. He also noted that the crypto weakness might also be a leading indicator for broader equities due to the shared liquidity dynamics. He doesn't expect overregulation from this, but anticipates fixes to such code errors and advised avoiding heavy leverage in trading. Is always a story, right? But it almost sounds perfect, right? And it seems exactly as to what happened. What it does is it's his way of telling people that the crypto market is safe, that it was just a glitch, and it won't happen again. It's a great way to cover your butt and try to kind of make it look like it's not that bad. You know what I'm saying? Like, but man, wow. But thank you for that. And we kind of did a little bit of a deep dive there. I like that. Let me jump into the chat and see what's happening with the chat. Okay. Hey, Sammy. What's the next? Oh, and I can't. Wow. Let's see here. What do we got going on? Rate cut possible on the CME Fedwell. Raised to 75. I know. If you're not on 3 different accounts getting the likes up, you ain't living right. I like this guy. He knows what's up. I believe it was an intentional, not a glitch, 100%. 100%. Sorry, honey. Can't eat tonight because of the glitch. Oops. Sorry, honey. There was a glitch in the computer. We can't have... We have to have dry ramen. We can't even afford water. I already dismissed this guy until what he said yesterday, right on point. Just look at the daily chart. I always dismiss this guy until what he said yesterday, right on point. Just look at the daily chart. The low of that wick had to be retested. Thank you. I love you. Basically, hold your ETH until he's done selling. I know, right? Even thought Tom Lee is a billionaire. He doesn't like to lose money either. Nobody likes to lose money. No. What's the chart say for Monero? Monero was looking bullish. Let's take a look. This thing looks like it could bounce. Let's take a look at Monero. You know, it's doing the same thing right now. Bitcoin's in that higher low. You can see Bitcoin's in the higher low now because I can see Monero's doing it. Now I'm only up 10 beans. We're kind of sideways. You can see how I didn't risk a lot on a Friday. This is sketchy. The 1 minute, does it get back above the 2? No. That looks bearish. That looks like a bear flag. It looks like I'm about to win the trade, honestly. I don't know. Almost a shoulder, shoulder, head, shoulder, shoulder. You get back above the 200, then I flip. But, you know, it's any ideas what Sailor would be forced to liquidate? No. He won't. He would just buy more or lower that liquidation level, in my humble opinion. There's probably a way to do that. He has some contingency plan, I bet, to kind of cover his butt, man. You got to know how to lose. Look, I might lose here. So I don't have to hang my head on that long. You see what I mean? On the short, I mean. I'm up 390 now. Now the fees and the... Trying to dig out. Look, shoulder, head, shoulder. That's an inverted, and then it has a higher low. Trying to dig out here on the 1 minute time frame. It's attempting. Thanks for the kind words, but I feel bad. I let my kids down. I'm just needing to get better at taking gains. No worries, man. You will. Don't beat yourself up now. That's not, you know, no reason to do that now, right? So I must have turned the music off accidentally. No, the music's there. Hold on. Yeah, the music's been there, man. Yeah, you just bugging. You just don't know. I guess maybe you have I don't know what's going on. The music's been there, brother. Yeah. I'm hearing the music. Look, it looks like we're digging out here. I don't know. I can't tell. It's too iffy. The 1 hour looks bearish. But it could be making a higher low right there. See that? They're just playing around with this candle right now. It's that Friday trading, baby. And maybe I'll see it clear in an hour or two. Sometimes that happens. You step away and everything kind of just opens up too. You know, you're like, Let's take a look at Monero on the bigger time frame like you were asking, though. I liked it if it could hold that trend line. It's funny. It doesn't look too bad. These privacy coins don't look too bad. It's actually holding that trend line. It could bounce and go further to the upside. 650 is what I'd be looking for there, 660. All right. Remember, we're doing a Black Friday, Cyber Monday sale. I'd love to have you in there. Jump on in. Hit the link below the videos. Okay, right here. Black Friday, Cyber Sale. Hit that link. It'll give you a form. Fill out that form. That'll give us, we'll be able to email you a coupon code that will get you going 24 hours before the Black Friday sale and give you an added discount inside the best premium affordable Discord in the game, man, where I'm here every single day. And we did a weekly screen share once a week as well. Every single Thursday, we have a blast. We have fun. We share awesome information together. I go over everything. I give you a video update in the morning and at night, sometimes even in the middle of the day, depending on if there's like an emergency need. I'm there every day, 7 days a week. I do not take Christmas off. I do not take Thanksgiving off. I don't take my birthday off. Maybe I've been sick like twice or three times a year where I might go to bed a little early, but it's rare. Even that is rare. And even then, I usually wake up in the middle of the night and post at 1:40 in the morning like I did yesterday. So, yeah. I don't know if you'll find a more obsessive person about their business, and you're my business. So I'm obsessed with showing you as much as I can about the charts every single day. And that's my goal and dream, is to make you as better than me. If I can make you a better trader than me, I did my job. Okay? Eventually, I'm going to get tired. My eyes are going to hurt. I'm going to be an old man. I can't do this forever. I'm going to pass the torch on. And I want to see you make the gains. And I want to see you continue to kick it. 1 minute is getting a nice little bounce here for Bitcoin. It's weird. Yeah, okay, yeah. I'm not loving the short now. It's looking sketch. It's like, I'm down $40. So lose graciously, you know. It's again, that's why when I'm like, how did I do that beautiful P&L with one lot? It's just like, I was in and out, just pressing all the right buttons. Everything was just absolutely perfect. It doesn't always come, it's just, you know, even, I've been 3 for 10 and made more money. You know what I'm saying? To me, it's about the money and the perfection. Thank you so much for throwing some coins in the jar there. I appreciate that. You didn't have to, but you did. Yeah, so now we're down 59 on the trade. I'm like, Just got to wait it out. I just walk away, come back later, see what happens. Yeah, so could we get a bounce? You never know. I think it's unlikely. It's looking like we're more bearish, but you never know. You know, our most bullish scenario is somehow, some way, you get a shoulder, a head, you V-shape recovery all the way back up, your right shoulder here. And look at this, by December 15th, you start a rally. And then some here, look, by December 28th, you're back at $134,000 Bitcoin. There's a chance here. There's a chance if you know that along right now on the bigger time frame with a stop below that wick could win. There's a chance. But it's tough, right? That's your like hopium copium right there. Oh, they're starting to bounce this puppy back up pretty strong. It's now technically the low, the high, the higher low. You see? Oversold poking up on the 15-minute time frame. To me, really, the 5-minute would have to break above the 200 moving average. And then I might flip long, but I don't know. It's a Friday, man. They could wick and flip. Now I'm losing $100. I don't like that. That's why I put the stop on the other side of the 1 minute 200. We're either going to tap that and get rejected, or we're going to fly right through it. Look at that, 3 white soldiers. That closes. That's a bullish single, you know. It did. Look, it just closed 3 white soldiers. Can we get rejected or do we plow? A lot of times that's a rejection point. See the 200 moving average? Wow. A lot of excitement here. Hold my breath, man. Woof. So now it could flag below the 200, bring the 21 to it, and then get the move. Stay rejected and dump and continue, and then the 1 hour takes over. The 1 hour still looks bearish to me, though small time frames are just attempting to hijack the move. And I'm not even risking a lot, and it's still moving the price pretty much. And I'm not even in heavy risk. Imagine if I had any more. That's why I see people in the group, man, you guys go hard. I'm very like, wow. I'm a Sally. You are the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with. Formal education will make you a living. Self-education will make you a fortune. Don't wish you were easier. Wish you were better. If you really want to do something, you'll find a way. If you don't, you'll find an excuse. We must all suffer from one of 2 pains, the pain of discipline or the pain of regret. The difference is discipline weighs ounces, while regret weighs tons. Not working out, you look fat and you don't look good. That's a nasty feeling. But working out and sweating, it's not an easy feeling either, but I'd rather have that pain of working out and sweating than looking at myself all fat. You know what I mean? 100%. Like, there's a pain to everything. There's a give and take to everything in this life. Nothing is free. You don't look good for free. You don't eat healthy for free. I mean, but you know what I mean? Like, and I always love the idea that, like, you don't get fat eating 1 donut. You don't lose your portfolio losing 1 trade. You keep losing trades. You keep eating donuts. You keep making the same mistakes over time, right? The Slight Edge, the book is about making a small change every single day that adds up to something bigger. Whenever I go to a restaurant, I drink water. I don't order soda. So therefore, after 10 restaurants visits, I drank 10 waters. You know? After 100 visits, I drank 100 waters. Now, the person that went to the restaurant 100 times drank 100 sodas. Now, 1 soda doesn't make you sick. And doesn't make you technically, unhealthy. But soda every day does. You see what I mean? Like, doing it every day makes you unhealthy. So, like, going to the gym, right? 1 time does not make you look good. You don't get big muscles lifting weights 1 day. But if you consistently go to the gym over time, you don't become a multimillionaire trading for 1 day. Or 2 days. Or a week. You become a multimillionaire possibly, even possibly, because not everyone does it. Trading for multitudes of days, that add up over time. Success is not an overnight thing. We talked about it again, but you got to drill this into people's heads. Everyone assumes success is this thing that just like happens to successful people. They just live in a successful life. They got it all figured out. People that have it all figured out went through years of pain first to get there. That's what I've found. A lot of pain. Starts with the model on the 32nd, above the 200 with the 21 coming. And you'd be like, why are you on the 32nd, Sam? Sometimes that's what I just need that information. Sometimes they're hiding information from me, and I need to dig so deep to find it. Like, that's the model right there. That suggests that I might lose the short. If we go back below the 200, then it's all going to fail. Then we got the head and shoulder in our way. The 32nd can give me some insight for the next 10 minutes. The next 10 minutes can give me insight for the next hour. The next hour can give me insight for the next, 6, 7 hours. The next 6 hours can give me insight for the next few days. It's all connected. All time and space is connected, and it all kind of correlates as such. I want to take a look at the S&P futures here on this day. Is it taking a beat down too, or are they finally getting a bit of a bounce here on the S&P? ES1. The A-mini, I called a bounce for the S&P, and it is uncorrelated to Bitcoin. Getting the bounce as we talked about. Daily candle. Tweezer bottoming. I'm seeing an inverted head and shoulder for the S&P. I'm seeing a massive pump. Whoever's shorting the markets heavy right now is about to get rocked and wrecked. Tells me the S&P is about to make a pretty big move. Do I long the S&P here on BTCC? I think I do. And so this may be one of my most gutsy calls here ever. But I'm going to make a long here on that S&P. I like the bottom there. I'm into trading what I see now. I don't really care where I see it. Like, I found systems that trade Bitcoin, but they help me trade everything. Boom. So let me see here. I'm on BTCC, one of the oldest exchanges, 2014, never fail. Never had no issues. On point people, man. Look, that higher low there for Bitcoin. Shoulder, that's an inverted head and shoulder, a sticky one. Boom, right? I gotta wait for the tweezer bottom. You know what I'm saying? Just for me personally. Let's take a look at do they have the S&P here, or they only have tech? Yeah, there it is. SPX 500. So look at this. I'm going to long the S&P here. Okay? And you'd be like, what? Yeah. I'm going to long the S&P on the daily. Very sketchy on a Friday. But I'm front running the fact that this will close green today and close at tweezer top. And I'm front running this right here. Shoulder. This will be the head of the inverted head and shoulder. Okay? It's going to be a long way to go. And I believe I can get to the top of the shoulder. I believe I can get the measured move of the inverted. So I'll go to 7,300. 7,250 is my take profit. And my stop loss is going to be at 65.18. Could even make it like, 65.18, right? And there we go, 500 for 36. Yeah. And I maybe add to it too. If this starts to go well, I'll add to that trade, right? So I'm beginning along here for the S&PZ. As you can see, we're in now on the trade. Somehow already up $16. I don't know how that works, But yeah. So I'm long S&P. I'm long in the S&P. Well, the whole world thinks we're going to dump to the downside. I'm going to long the fear. Yeah. I'm going to use that to my advantage. And if 2 weeks from now, Bitcoin cleans up from whatever this algorithmic glitch is, you never know. You never know. Look at this, getting a move here. I'm down $40. Ain't bad, right? $46. So we got rejected by the 200, came all the way back down. Sketchy, right? Looks like it might make the right shoulder. See how I use the 200 as my blocking mechanism for the short, for the stop loss? Amazing, right? Doesn't mean we won't come for it again, but that's just, I've seen this so many times. Oversold stochastic, that should pump back up, though. I don't, I want to see that kind of dribble down a little bit more. Kind of stay down here like this. I'm looking for the right shoulder now. Weird for it to come all the way back to the 200 again. That's strange price action. That's choppy nonsense. It's like you covered me, now you're going to come get me again. It's crazy. I can see how people are in and out today. They're long, they're short, they're taking off trades, they're getting. It's a Friday, man. I wouldn't trade heavy on Friday. I'd set a small trade, let it go, and then walk away. Have control of your emotions. Don't be levered. Don't be in and out. Don't, you know what I mean? This is like, people are so crazy with their trades. The stochastic's pushing up there. I don't, that tells me that could make a move here. It's funny, if I'm long on the S&P, I should be long on Bitcoin, technically, right? But, I mean, they aren't 100% correlated. They're testing my will here now, bringing it back again up against the 200 moving average. Look, it did 3 white soldiers, and then here it goes again, 3 white soldiers, right? But got the 5 by the 200 moving average. Now they're going to probably come and get me. Look at this, the 200 moving average again. Double top on that 200, man. Roll over, baby. Crazy, right? My life is a candle on the 1 minute. My life in a candle on the 1 minute time frame. No. You stay below that 200. You stay down, boy. No. Ooh, they got it. They close above. Now they're coming to get me. They're going to come and get me now. Yeah. Try to destroy my beautiful P&L now. 3 losses. See how fast I can change, man? That's why I couldn't believe how clean it was. I mean, they're tiny losses, but still. I like to keep the losses below 150 bucks, man. That way, 5 of them still ain't going to leave a glitch. Look at this insanity. Okay. Thanks for putting us up on BTCC. Me too, man. Hey, I had to find them too, man. They came to me and explained why they were amazing. Yes, that's why I closed my short, somebody said. And you never know, though. Now we're battling that 200 moving average. Do you long this now? Too many people shorting. Are they going to squeeze? Does anyone else get random Coinbase withdrawal codes? Yes, don't touch them. Tough market to trade. Long from 82K, but don't feel great about it. BTC, make it a bull flag. Sammy playing bumper car with the charts. Hey, you got to just have fun with it. Dang you. It just Friday stinks trading small time frames. It's always going to be, look at it. It's been all over the place. I mean, you could technically say, well, we got the reversal. And they got me. See, I got stopped out. It's all right. It does look like we could get a reversal now. I just love this to end and have Bitcoin bounce and have this be the end of it all. But I mean, that looks like a bear flag on the 1 hour time frame. I guess I'm wrong. Also, it seems like they're going to go to Asian high, having cleared Asian low during London. I get these Coinbase, they don't even have an account. Hey, who cares, man? Don't worry about it. Yeah. Someone says, let the rally begin. Everyone's so waiting for an actual rally. It's going to bump now. Hey, man, I long the S&P. So, on a Friday afternoon, which is, I don't think I've ever done that in my life. I don't think I ever longed the S&P on a Friday. Like, the 15-minute FVG kind of strong support. No, just tapped it and bounced up. Yeah, you're in the right place to fix your trading decisions, yeah? Hey, Sam, what's the next support line for Bitcoin? Thank you. I'm just going to reassess this for a second and see if I'm missing anything in my mind. I mean, daily hit a strong support line, and there was a high volume node right there. Like, it hit exactly a POC. 83,800, right? You kind of almost expect a V-shaped recovery all the way back up. And a move that fast that down, I've seen almost every time has come back up. I almost feel like we're going to rip all the way back up. Make an inverted head and shoulder here. It looks interesting, doesn't it? I just wait for the next daily candle to close green. I don't have to front run anything. Just patience. Tonight at 8 p.m., maybe 11 p.m., I'll be 3 hours into the next daily candle. We might be getting a tweezer bottom. The 12-hour, you could front run it technically by trading the 12-hour tweezer bottom right now. Kind of like I took the S&P. But, I mean, you're very oversold. Like, they're beat to the ground. Kind of looks like a fun way to trade, right? Wow, we're up 125 already on the S&P call? That's so crazy. I didn't expect that. I didn't expect any movement like that. Shout out to me, man. Wow, that's awesome. I just made my money back on the Bitcoin trade. So far, we didn't, not realize. But hey. So now we could make the same trade on the 12-hour time frame, right? Oh, I need that 12-hour. Can we get that 12-hour mucky, Mr. Muck? I never use these things. He's like floating. Available 2-hour, 4-hour, edit. Dang, that 12-hour would be nice right now. I guess I can set it up and just let it sit, So we could front run the 12-hour. So it would be in now. Stop loss would have to be below 80,453. And the take profit would be like at 90, you could say 91,676. So stop loss below the wick at 80,543. Take profit at 94.5. So 80,005 to 94.5. So you'd say, okay. That would be the trade there. 94,500. 80,500. Right? This one I'll probably do, I don't know, 1,000? 28 for 70. No. It's a smaller account. See here. It's a 2-to-1. Should be better than that. Yeah, 8 to 9. Yeah. I'm gonna go for it, man. Look at the S&P call ripping. So crazy. So now I got two positions. I got an S&P position, a Bitcoin position. All right. And we'll see what happens, man. When one might cancel out the other, it might break even. The way it might be like trading, inverted assets, or uncorrelated. All right. Let me get back into the chat. What do y'all think about this insanity? You guys love the channel, man. Thank you for coming on in. Appreciate you all for being here. Hopefully we never go below 40K again. I wouldn't short until we bounce to 100K for a test. Full div on the 1 hour, pretty strong. Yeah, I'm back to long. Sam, here's a good one. If we close at 2025 on the red, technically breaks the 4-year cycle. That could change things. Yeah. You still have XRP short over from 26. Wouldn't mind if that got stopped out. I know, right? I know how you feel. All right, with that being said, I'm going to go do the top-down analysis video that we do every single day here on the channel. I'm going to have a blast doing that. We're going to talk about it, break it down. Look for that video later on today. Everyone, thank you so much for being here. Please comment, like, and subscribe. I had a really good day on the channel. Up $180 on the S&P long right now, which I did not expect that to go so well. Everyone, I love you. I appreciate you, and I thank you so much. And, yeah. I love you, and I hope you guys are all right. Stay amazing. Stay blessed. Stay focused. Keep pushing every single day. Critical times for Bitcoin, but only the strong will survive. Only the people that really maintain a positive attitude and push themselves with discipline and focus are going to win. So find your chi, find your discipline, find your focus. And I'm telling you right now, the odds of you winning are going to go up, up, up and away, baby. I love you all. Thank you so much. The secret to success is getting started. If you haven't started, you got to start today. Change your life. You're going to be somewhere different in 4 years if you stay disciplined. Look what happened to me. You know? Watch my plaque. Look what happened to me, man. This is outside my office. It's in the living room. Everyone sees it every day in my house, man. This is it, baby. This is it. You can too. $224 up 10% on the S&P long. Bitcoin pumping too. Back to the upside. We might have called the bottom, baby. On that 12-hour time frame, tweezer bottom. I don't know. Only time will tell. I've never really longed the 12-hour. I usually wait for the daily. Peace out, Cub Scout. Shout out to everybody here. Glory to God Most High. Yeshua. Amen. Thanks so much, Father, for the skills. I love this thing. Woo, I'm ecstatic. God bless you, brother. Shout out to everybody here. Thank you so much. May God bless you and keep you whole. I'll see you tomorrow. Remember, 4 live streams throughout the weekend. We don't take the days off, baby. I'll see you all weekend long. Stay blessed. Stay amazing. Get excited. Crypto Lifer over and out.